Hello. So, long story short, guys, what's going on in this video is there was no audio going on. I do not know what's going on with that. I'm pretty sure it was because I was using the app to turn on and off the camera and hit record and stop recording. Um, but I'm pretty sure I got that figured out now. I got the settings figured out. So in the upcoming videos, this won't be an issue at all. Just for this video, I'm going to narrate it, kind of let you guys know what was going on. The sad part is there's a lot of funny stuff that did happen in this video that I just didn't put in there, just because they had no context without audio. So this video is pretty much strictly going to be about the baits I was throwing, why I was throwing them, where I was throwing them, what was going through my mind, and the fish I was catching. It's going to be pretty fast paced, but I hope you guys learned something. And in the upcoming videos, there's going to be a lot more action. So stay tuned, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so right away, this is about the first cast here, first couple casts in. Right away, I hook a smallie right away. As you can see here, I was throwing a little scatter wrap, and it's not a bad fish at all. It's about a, I don't know, 15 inch fish roughly, right around 14, 15. But awesome little smallie, came right out of the rapids as you saw. It's the main area I was fishing here today. It was springtime. It's May, what day is it today? May 14th today. So I was able to sneak out there for about an hour. This fish just absolutely crushed the scatter wrap there. And he just came out of the rapids like I said. And all these fish were hooked really good. They were eating the bait really well today. It was raining earlier, so I wasn't able to get my earlier catches on video, but just an awesome fish right there. Beautiful colors. Awesome golds, browns. Love the spots on this one. They're all kind of similar to this, but absolutely beautiful. So we're going to go get a release on this guy here. Just explaining there, I caught him out of the rapids and stuff, and I like to sit in there. Gonna let him go there. Awesome fish. Now right away here, I pick up the rod. And then I explain the bait here. Scatter Wrap 07. This is a shallow Scatter Wrap Crank 07, as you can read there. This is just in the gold color here, a little bit of gray on the back, silver, a little bit of black. Awesome river color right here. Whenever there's a little bit dingier water, dirtier water, that's one of the colors I gravitate to, especially in rivers. Kind of resembles a lot of different things there. You can see it could be a minnow, and the Scatter Wrap in particular, I really like in rivers here because it's got that hunting action. It's got that hunting action, kind of like with the square bills, the KVD square bills imitate a little bit. So I cast right back in there. This is actually the next cast after that fish, and I hook right back up again with another smallie. And I love them. They fight so hard in that current. But I got 14-pound test on, so I'm able to haul them in right away. Again, they're eating the head of the bait there, as you can see, which means that I'm throwing the right color. I like that color because it kind of, excuse me, it can kind of imitate like a crawfish. When you get that dirtier water, a lot of the bait fish get a goldish tint to them in the rivers as well. But the VMC hooks on these scatter wraps are just dynamite. I mean, they hook them everywhere and everywhere. Same thing with all the Rapala baits, but another gorgeous fish, a little bit different. Doesn't quite have the same markings. It's still beautiful. Right around the same size here. Fish in this river, there really isn't too many big fish. This is on the upper end of the fish you're gonna catch actually. You might get one that's maybe pushing 18, 19 inches, but 15, 16 in this river is a pretty big fish, pretty solid fish. Sick release on him, not gonna lie. So fished the rapids there for a little bit longer, didn't catch anything, so decided to cast downstream, and I hook into something. Felt pretty big at first, thought it might be a pike, maybe a big smallie, but as I got closer and closer, I was like, it's not quite fighting like a smallie. I was getting some big head shakes, but nothing too crazy. So I was like, all right, it's probably just in the current. And turned out to be a nice little walleye here.
Beautiful walleye. This one didn't eat it quite as well, but it did eat it. So that's an awesome little bonus fish there. I was actually planning on releasing this fish, but later on I ended up dropping it in between the rocks there, and it took me a good 15-20 minutes to lift up the rocks and get him out of one of the crevices in there. So he came home with me. Nice little 16-inch male, nothing crazy. After I filleted it, there's no eggs, no signs of being a female. So perfect one to keep there. Wally's already spawned. I don't have to worry about that. But I lost my crankbait, as you do in river fishing. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of rocks, a lot of wood. You're bound to get snags. So what I was doing in this part of the video is I was kind of explaining what I would throw in this scenario here. Pull out my crankbait box. Can't quite see exactly what's all in the box, but I pull some baits up for you and explain a little bit here. So I believe the first bait I pull out is a Strike King KVD 1.5 square bill. I have to double check that. And no, it's another scatter wrap actually. That's just in like a green crayfish color. Absolute dynamite. That's the one I end up using later on. But that's one of the main baits I prefer to throw here. I'll go through my other options. KVD 1.5. That's in a Sexy Shad color. I opted not to use that one just because I thought the fish would be feeding more on crayfish, bluegills. You know, there's not really a lot of shad or kind of bait fish in this river. We're pretty far up north, but this little ultralight crankbait is one of my favorites. It's got chartreuse, black back. It's a pretty standard river color for smallmouth, but it's more of a finesse option. I was kind of going for the bigger fish here. They seem pretty active today, so I opted to go with the other scatter wrap in the green crayfish color. That's what I thought the smallies would be feeding on. I was getting them out of rocks, so it just made sense. Another thing with the scatter wrap is it's made of balsa, so it floats up really easily. When you crank it down into the rocks, it'll float up. If you give it some slack, it'll float up really nice. So got it tied on again. Another cast right in this rapids here. This is where I was getting the fish, is right in the eddy, right in the middle there. You can see the slower water. So I was really pounding that area. And, you know, we were getting some fish here and there. But it seemed like that eddy area, right in the middle of those two jet streams on either side, is right where I was getting them. It's right where that fish hit too. And they were just stacked up in there. So here we go. Another nice smallie. Beautiful fish. And again, they're eating the head of the bait, and that's what I want when I'm crankbait fishing. So that kind of just confirmed the theory that they were feeding on craws and stuff. This one's a little bit lighter colored. Beautiful fish. All these smallies were released. I do not like keeping bass, but on the occasion I will. That one, about the same size as the rest of them. They're kind of moving up here for the spawn and such. This is one of the only hard bottom areas for a little bit, so they all gravitate here. Let this fish go. Just the power. They just take off, man. But there's the dead walleye. Yeah, I had to take him home. I had to do that. But yeah, I was musky fishing earlier. That's why I got the bait. But thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about the audio again. We're going to be coming out with a lot more content for you. So hit the subscribe button, guys. And I promise you, there's some good things to come.